Radhaskandadiveshitotulabhujam Damodaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Everybody loud. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. First of all, my name is Dandavat Pranams to Lotus feet of Shiva Gurudev, Nikhil Preshtam Vishnupada Stutra Sabda Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Gurudeva Sam Vishnupada Stutra Sabda Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj Shrimati Krishna Priyata Purani. Also, Shri Rupananda Gaudiya Guru Parampara, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Pujapad Damodar Maharaj, everyone, Dandavat Pranam. So, we're hearing in the mornings when we don't have bus parikramas, we hear Damodarashtakam by Shri Satyavrata Muni. That's the regulated principle for Kartika. To hear how Mother Yashoda became victorious, how Mother Yashoda's love was able to bind Krishna completely. So, we're just seeing into how the mood of Satyavrata Muni is evolving, how the mood is progressing. So, in every prayer, in every piece of literature, there's an introduction. In introduction, there are three parts: Pranipat, Vastu, Anirdesh, and Ashirvat. So Pranipat means obeisances, means Dandavat Pranams, first of all, to the worshipable deity, worshipable object. Then Vastu Nirdesh means delineation, the subject of the topic being discussed. And then Ashirvat means blessing. So here Satyavrata Muni is starting from Pranipat, from obeisances. So it's very, very important to ascertain that we are serving that object, Supreme Personality. So therefore he is saying, Namameshwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Yashoda Biyolukaladdavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopyam. The day before yesterday we looked a little bit into word for word meaning. Namam Ishwaram. Ishvara means the Supreme Personality. Ishvara Satchidananda Rupa means the repository of eternity, knowledge and bliss. So Srila Sanatana Goswami is saying that there are three aspects here in the word Ishvara. Namam Ishwaram Satchidananda Rupam. So Ishvara means Sarva Shaktiman, the possessor of all energies. Then he is Jagat Ekanath, the only Lord in the world, in the universe. And the very intimate one, Nija Prabhu. He is my personal Lord. So Nija Prabhu, this point is very, very important for everyone. Sanatana Goswami Pad is especially stressing that Nija Prabhu, my Prabhu. So certainly Supreme Personality means the repository of all energies. So Krishna himself has nothing to do. But his energies are performing everything according to his will. So Parasya Shakti Vidaya Shruyate Svabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. In this Vedic mantra, in Upanishads, it is said that Parasya Shakti Vidaya Shruyate. The Shrutis, the Vedic scriptures, are proclaiming that he has unlimited powers, unlimited potencies. Svabhavik Jnana Bala Kriyacha, out of which Satchidananda or Sandhini Hladini are most prominent. So many, many, many others, but they all belong to those three. Sandhini Hladini, Sandhini Hladini. So you can see in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes very, very great detail Shakti Tattva. So, and therefore, he is the only master. He is the only master, according to whose will everything is working. According to his will, everything is working. So Srimad Bhagavatam in the first, second cantos, proclaiming that out of fear of the Lord the sun is shining, out of fear of the Lord the earth is moving, functioning, out of fear of the Lord, all the luminaries are shining out of fear of the Lord, time factor is there out of the will of the Lord, all the living entities are receiving their karma, the results of their activities, out of the will of the Lord, everything is going on. So, for a devotee, that is the basis of Sharanagati. All out of the will of the Lord, everything is going on with me also, in my devotional life, out of His will. Either I still reap the harvest I have sown in the form of my karmic activities in the past, or Krishna takes some part of my karma to teach me something, like the Sud devotee is saying that. But most prominently for every devotee, Krishna is Nija Prabhu, means my personal Lord, for whom I cultivate certain feelings which are very, very important for me. Yes, okay. So, therefore these principles, important. So then after, as we heard day before yesterday, in the second verse already, Satyavrata Muni is attracted by Krishna's wonderful features. He is attracted by his kundalas, by his earrings. And these earrings are dancing in his ears, making beautiful shadows on his cheeks, and they're kissing his cheeks. So that creates already great greed in the heart of Satyavrata Muni. Oh, if the kundalas, if Krishna's earrings are kissing his cheeks, why not me? If Mother Yashoda is kissing his cheeks, why not me? He knows also that the gopis are doing the same, so why not me? So that greed already growing, although he's first of all offering obeisances. So that is the union, tattva and rasa. So while hearing Rasa Lila Katha, and we're hearing quite a lot during this month of Kartik, we should not forget that Krishna is actually Supreme Personality of God. And all those pastimes are divine. If an ordinary mother binds a naughty child, that is mundane. But Krishna is not like this. He is Supreme Personality of God. He is Divine Personality. And Mother Yashoda is the eternal mother of the Divine Personality, manifestation of His Shakti. And that lila, where he is binding, is not a binding of an ordinary child, but rather that is the fulfillment of the Lord's desire to be bound. He desires to be bound, so Yogamaya allows Mother Yashoda, according to Krishna's will, to bind him. So that is one of the elements, with all those decorations on Krishna's body become so much attracted to Satyavrata Muni, and therefore Sanatana Goswami Pad is quoting a famous verse by Uddhava in the conversation of Vidura. Yanmartya lilapayakam svayoga samaya maya balam drishata grihitam vismapanam sasati sopadati param padam bhushana bhushana. So Krishna is the decoration of his own decorations, bhushanam bhushanam. Normally in this world people get decorated so diligently, otherwise they don't look beautiful at all, they look rather nasty, they're not decorated, so I have to decorate, you know. But even in heavenly planets they decorate, and they cannot be said to be the decoration of their own decorations. Decorations still decorate them. But Krishna, no. He is the source of all beauty, therefore he is the source of the beauty of his own decorations. So Krishna is unlimitedly bright. He's Dev. Dev means shining brightly, shining unlimitedly, attractively. So that's why his decorations also shining brightly and attractively, because of Krishna himself. So Gurudev is saying Narayana is also beautiful, isn't it? Narayana is so beautiful, so attractive, but not in the way Krishna is beautiful, because Krishna's unique features, Lila Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Prema Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, so attractive that Narayan's beauty fades in front of Krishna's. Narayan's beauty just fades in front of Krishna's. So when Krishna disappeared from the rasa dance, there's a story we'll be hearing that day when we go to Sringarvat, also a little bit in Vrindavan. Then gopis were in great separation. So finally, after they have sung the Gopi Gita, Krishna reappeared and reunion happened. So gopis put asana for Krishna made from the saris, which were completely dry, soaking wet, so completely wet, soaking wet because of the tears. So Krishna sat on that, and it was also smeared with the sand of Yamuna. So he was like new Cupid, Sakshat Manmata. So that Krishna was completely attractive. Or when Krishna came to see the gopis, when the gopis came to see Krishna, when he would play the flute, and then in the middle of the forest, and Pranaya Gita was sung, the gopis were saying, it's not proper for you to send us home, poor village girls, we've given everything to you, and you are our guru, so we have to stay with you. That's the first religious duty of a religious lady, to be staying with his master. So they said at the end, Kastriangate Kalapalabda Venu Gita Samodita Echiritam Nachareti Lokyam Trilokya Sopagamidam Chanirikshirupam Yat Godvija Druma Brigatura Kaida Vibram. So, oh Shyamasundara, your flute is so endearing for all living entities, that all living entities, they have feeling that their life actually flourishing when you play the flute. And the life is flourishing so much, they are so much ecstatic that they, if you look formally, they change their nature to the opposite. The waters of Yamuna normally calm and non-turbulent. They start being turbulent, start being disturbed, turbulent. So they offer the most cherished treasure, the lotus flowers, the lotus feet of Krishna. Because Krishna is Natavara, he's the king of the dancers. So in order to thank the dancer, thank the artist, they offer something very, very best that they have. So peacocks offer Krishna peacock feather, and also Krishna out of pleasure, out of gratitude to the peacock, always wears the peacock feather in his head. So the waters of Yamuna also, they offer flowers to Krishna, and Krishna then takes that flower and dwells in his hand like this, given by Yamuna. Then the cows are unable to chew grass. Normally they chew grass, they make some movements, but when Krishna plays, they stop, the saliva goes out, and the mouth is open, they cannot chew. And the cows who ordinarily chew, they suck mother's milk, or the others, they stop, and they also look at Krishna with unblinking eyes, like statues. And the Dvija, Dvija here means birds. Birds are compared to great sages. Dvija means brahmanas, sages. So they become stunned as well. They are not chirping anymore. They are completely stunned, and they're looking at Krishna like statues. So that's why, out of their intensity in their hearts, they're holding so hard into the branches of the tree, so they're unable to fall also. So they're looking at Krishna like this. So all the living entities, they change that. We will be probably visiting this year, if we're lucky, Charanbahari out of the three, at least one. So Charanbahari means the stones which got completely melted when Krishna was playing the flute, and his colored boys, gopis were surrounding him. His cows were surrounding him. Many other animals were nearby there. So they left their imprints in the stones. So the stones, the surface became liquid. See, so waters became turbulent, and the stones became liquid. Even they melted completely because of the melody of Krishna's flute. So those are some features of Krishna's beautiful nature, his four qualities: Venu Madhurya, the beauty of his flute we just heard; Lila Madhurya, the beauty of his leelas; Prema Madhurya, the beauty of his love; and Rupa Madhurya, the uncomparable beauty of his figure, his body, which is completely distinct from Lord Narayana and all other incarnations. So that uniqueness, we know according to Tattva, but according to Rasa, we can hear in the Gitas, Gopi songs by the Gopis, Venu Gita, Gopi Gita, Pranaya Gita, Yuga Gita, etc. They all proclaim how Krishna is beautiful. So Satyvrata Muni is not a neutral observer. He knows, beautifully knows the mood of the Brijbasis. He knows how Brijbasis love Krishna. He's observing that. He's the witness, very active witness, not passive witness. So therefore, he's expressing the mood of the Brijbasis step by step in the Damodarashtakam, first being so much attracted by mother's love, Vatsalya Bhav, and then coming gradually to the love of the Gopis, Srimati Radhika, so Madhurya Bhav. So Shri Damodarashtakam ki jai, Shri Satyvrata Muni ki jai, Shri Radha Goswami Pada ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai, Kartika Vrata ki jai, Gaur Premanande ki jai.